Hello there guys, I'm the Chall and welcome back to another video. Now today, the Premier League is back. Well, not today, but it's back on Wednesday the 17th of June 2020, and today we're going to be predicting from the 17th right up until the 21st of June on the Sunday on the Premier League fixtures. So we're going to be predicting scorelines, we're going to be talking about these teams individually. We're going to be chatting about what they could do next season as well. And we're going to be talking all different things to do with the Premier League. So, before we get started, please like for more content. Please subscribe for more content. Please comment down below your suggestions for more content. And also your thoughts on our content. Click notification bell so you never miss any more of our content. And for now, guys, let's get into another video. So, let's start off with our first fixtures on Wednesday, the 17th of June 2020 in the Premier League. So our first fixture to predict on Wednesday, the 17th of June at 6 o'clock in the evening is Aston Villa against Sheffield United over at Villa Park. Now, Aston Villa are fighting a never-ending relegation battle with the likes of Bournemouth, Watford and West Ham and Brighton. Now, Aston Villa have been through the ringer with bad results and injuries sidelining their hopes of survival. However, with an injury update on McGinn with hopes that he'll come back, there's plenty to hope for Villa in their fight for survival. Sheffield United, on the other hand, at the other side of the table, have been fighting for a potential Champions League place, obviously now with 5th place being guaranteed a Champions League place after Man City's ban from Europe for 2 seasons. Sheffield United have been fighting for 5th place, and they're only 2 points away. In fact, they're even 5 points away from 4th place Chelsea, but they've still got Chelsea, Man United and Wolves to contend with, as well as Tottenham, Arsenal and Burnley in 10th place, chasing down their necks. Now, Sheffield United are a fantastic team this season, and it'd be great to speak to someone at Sheffield United about the season they've had and to understand it from their point of view. But Sheffield United have just been a wonderful club to watch, a wonderful club to take note of, and they've been a fantastic team. Now, Aston Villa and Sheffield United both came up to the league in the same season. So, Sheffield United, of course, don't forget a few years ago, they were a League One team, and now they're fighting for European competition in the Premier League. Now, in this game, I think this game will finish Aston Villa 1, Sheffield United 2. Because even though Aston Villa have got a relegation spot to fight out of, Sheffield United have got European competition to fight for. So I think Sheffield United could have that added desire of wanting it just that little bit more than Aston Villa. But I do wish Aston Villa the best of luck for the rest of this season, and hopefully they will survive the Premier League relegation dogfight. Moving in then to our next Wednesday fixture, and that is at 8:15. It is Manchester City versus Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. Now, even though Manchester City are banned from Europe for 2 seasons, they're fighting for a never-ending and seemingly impossible title race. They are on 57 points, which is 25 points, behind Liverpool in 1st place, and Manchester City just need that little extra boost to help keep them in the top 3 at least, even though it seems like Liverpool are pretty much title winners already. Now, Arsenal, on the other hand, have had a turbulent campaign. Arsenal have been fighting with the sacking of Unai Emery, Freddie Ljungberg's caretaker charge going mixed ways, and of course the appointment of Mikel Arteta, the former assistant to Pep Guardiola. Now, this will be an interesting fixture as it's assistant versus boss, and Man City Arsenal could be a fixture to watch. Now, Manchester City are the stronger side on paper, but Arsenal could have that added extra resurgence that could get them into Europe. However, I think that Arsenal could do with a season outside of Europe for the first time in decades, because it gives them a chance to rebuild the squad. And after reports that Dayot Upamecano could be signing for Arsenal, and the fact that AC Milan have lost out in their position in the race and Arsenal are free to sign Upamecano from Leipzig, that could strengthen their defence next season, which gives them an added pressure but an added chance of getting into Europe next season. So even though Arsenal could be within line for Europe, I would rather them stay out of Europe and do a Chelsea situation when Mourinho was sacked and they finished 10th the following year before they trophy win under Conte the following season. So Arsenal, I think, will lose 3-1 at the Etihad Stadium, and I think Man City have got this match covered. But I wish Arsenal the best of luck in trying to improve for next season. Moving into Friday, the 19th of June, and two fantastic fixtures at either end of the table. At 6 o'clock, Friday shows Norwich City against Southampton. Now, Norwich City are bottom of the league, and looking into the table, they're on 21 points with 9 games left to play, which means they can only get a maximum of 48 points. That would still take them to inside the top 5 if every other team above them lost, but that's very impossible. Norwich are fighting the seemingly inevitable. However, could this restart of the season prove to be the restart that Norwich wanted? Southampton aren't really fighting for Europe or fighting to stay in the league, but Southampton could be a dark outsider for relegation. However, Southampton seems like they're safe, and it looks like they're going to be in the Premier League for another season. So I think this could be a stag 1-1 draw. Now, moving into our next fixture on Friday the 19th of June, and that is Tottenham-Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 8:15. Now, Tottenham, of course, like Arsenal, their North London rivals, fighting for Europe, and Manchester United, being in 5th place and in the new Champions League spot for this season, are seemingly fighting the inevitable, and Manchester United could grab onto the Champions League positions if they keep winning games and others around them lose. But against Tottenham Hotspur, it should be an interesting fixture for me because, of course, Mourinho is a former Manchester United manager, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to resurge his team onto the end of the season. Mourinho is a very defensive manager and has played part-the-bus football, which is not exciting to watch from a Tottenham fan point of view. So I think this will be a 3-1 win for Manchester United, with that breed of attacking football from the likes of the ever-so-amazing Bruno Fernandes, and great signs of expectations were set when Fernandes and Pogba were training just recently. So I think that Manchester United could be back to their very, very best. Moving into Saturday the 20th of June, Watford-Leicester kicks off at 12:30. Now, Watford was seemingly out of sight in the relegation battle before Nigel Pearson took charge, the man that was sacked by Leicester after keeping them in the league and replaced the following year by the trophy-winning manager Claudio Ranieri. Now, Nigel Pearson, in my opinion, is a winning manager. He could definitely grab wins for Watford, and he did so when beating Liverpool, ending their invincible run. Watford have a strain above them at the start of the season. However, Watford could be very much in the run for survival and are outside the relegation zone on goal difference ahead of Bournemouth. So I think that Watford will be out of sight and out of the relegation zone and will stay in the Premier League next season. For this game against Leicester, however, it will be very, very tough because, of course, Brendan Rodgers' Leicester in 3rd place are fighting for a Champions League spot and keeping their Champions League spot, which seems to be the most likely option when looking at the table. Watford-Leicester should be a great clash at Vicarage Road, and my prediction for this score is going to be Watford 1, Leicester 1. Brighton-Arsenal kicks off at the Amex Stadium at 3 o'clock on the 20th of June, and even though Arsenal are fighting for Europe, Brighton are the outsiders for relegation. 29 points in 29 games. With 9 games to go, Brighton really do need to start getting points. And even though Arsenal have showed signs under Arteta, this could be a fixture where they could fall under the radar. So I predict this will be a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Arsenal, and Brighton will keep fighting to survive in the league again. At 5:30 in the afternoon, West Ham kicks off with Wolves at the London Stadium. Now, West Ham United have been through the radar this season. They're in the relegation scrap, level on points with Watford and relegation zone Bournemouth, and I think that West Ham are just not in with a chance of surviving, in my opinion. I think Watford and Bournemouth have the fight to stay in the league, but West Ham United could be about to have the biggest stadium in the Championship next season, because I think that West Ham are going to be a hard opponent to lose, and I think that Wolves are going to easily beat them. Wolves 3, West Ham 1 at the London Stadium. Now, Bournemouth Crystal Palace kicking off at 7:45 is going to be an interesting fixture, as Crystal Palace are fighting for high mid-table finish while Bournemouth fighting a relegation battle. Bournemouth need that injunction of talent, as do Crystal Palace, to make them a better side next season. And I think Bournemouth have got the heart, fight and spirit and passion to stay in the league. So I think this one is going to be a very easy Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 1. Finally then, on Sunday the 21st of June, Newcastle Sheffield United kick off at St James's Park at 2 o'clock. Now, Sheffield United fighting Europe is an interesting story. So is the Newcastle ownership situation. Now, as far as we knew, the takeover from the Saudi consortium and Amanda was set to go ahead. However, with personal talks on a different situation going off behind the scenes over the last week or two, it seems like the takeover may be on hold. And I think that this could affect on-pitch affairs. And Newcastle United will be beaten 3-0, in my opinion, by European chasers Sheffield United. Aston Villa Chelsea kick off at Villa Park at 4:15 on Sunday, and I think that Chelsea will breeze past Aston Villa 3-0. Villa just won't have the fight in this fixture. A very easy one to predict indeed. Finally, the big one. At 7 o'clock on Sunday, it is the Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. Now, while Liverpool are all but confirmed Premier League champions, Everton are in a mid-table class with the likes of Newcastle, Palace and Burnley. However, Everton will improve next season because they've got Carlo Ancelotti as manager, and I think they're going to invest in some top-tier talent and keep their best talent for next season. But for this fixture, I'm going to give it to Liverpool as a 2-1 win. And I think that Liverpool will be champions by this point, or even after this point. So Liverpool will be champions, and Everton will go again next season. So there we go. That, my friends, is your Premier League predictions. And it's been a very, very, very interesting prediction, this one. Some were easier than others, I'm not going to lie. Some were easier than others, but I think that we're going to sort out the champions position with Liverpool. I think Liverpool will be champions. Norwich, in my opinion, I think they're going to be relegated. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. I think the focus now is just finding out those Champions League places, the Europa League places, and the last 2 relegation places. Now, whether that means a relegation dogfight on the final days of the season, you know, I wouldn't mind that, because it's nice to have a survival Sunday or a survival Saturday, whenever day it's on. But I think that this is going to be an interesting weekend of fixtures. Now, of course, on Sunday, the 21st, we're going to release another prediction video on the Premier League, and this is for the following weeks. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Make sure you go and check out all the rest of our football and basketball content. We did an interview with Sheffield Sharks captain Mike Tuck about this season being cancelled, looking forward to next season, what the goals are for the team. So we've done a massive interview there. There's another video coming with me and Mike, which is a challenge video. I'm not going to tease it any more than that, but it is a basketball challenge video, which I'll hopefully do with other players as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Of course, we've got the EFL Championship predictions video. That will be coming before they start on Saturday the 20th of June, so that's another league to focus on Saturday. So we're pretty much at work on Saturday next weekend, so we're pretty much at work. But for now, guys, thank you very, very much. My name is the Chall. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you go and check online for BT Sport, Amazon Prime, BBC Sport, Sky Sports, whatever's broadcasting what games. Make sure you double check them online. Thank you very much. Goodbye.